All right, so buckle up, everybody, because we're going deep into Austria for this deep dive.
Ooh, Austria.
Yeah, specifically, we're going to be exploring the caves of Carinthia
Okay.
and the folklore that surrounds them. And guiding us on this journey is a fascinating article from a 1995 Austrian caving journal.
Oh,
I can already picture it, towering mountains,
yes.
dense forests,
Yeah.
mysterious underground realms.
I mean, you're spot on. Carinthia is just overflowing with tales of the supernatural.
Yes.
And this article we're diving into is like a treasure map leading us to those stories.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like each cave has its own little myth attached to it.
It really is. It's not just like a random collection of, spooky stories.
Yeah.
It's a carefully curated list of caves and their associated legends.
That's awesome. So what kind of stories are we talking about here?
Oh, we've got everything. We've got hidden treasures guarded by mythical creatures. We got cautionary tales woven into the very rock. There might even be a slumbering king or two down there, waiting for the right moment to awaken.
A slumbering king. Okay, now you've got me really intrigued. Tell me more about how this article is structured.
So the author, Heinrich Smodek, he went to great lengths to organize these legends alphabetically by cave name.
Smart.
And he did his research. He pulls from a variety of sources, like historical accounts, local tales, and even songs. So it suggests this long and rich oral tradition in the region.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just, one person's imagination.
Yeah.
These stories have been passed down and embellished for generations.
That's so cool. It really adds a sense of history and mystery to these caves.
Definitely.
It's like the landscape itself is whispering these stories to us.
Yeah, I love that.
So what kind of creatures are we likely to encounter on this subterranean adventure?
One figure you're going to run into a lot in Corinthian cave folklore is the Wild Woman.
Wild woman.
Yeah, she goes by many names. Saladin, Zalkzine,
Yeah.
Lice. But she's always depicted as a powerful, alluring figure, often found deep within the caves.
Wild woman. It kind of sounds like those fairy tales where you're never quite sure if the magical being is going to help you or hex you.
That's a great comparison. They're definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
Sometimes they offer aid or guidance, especially to those who show respect. But cross them, and they can be dangerous.
Oh, no.
Some stories even depict them luring people into the caves, never
Yeah.
to be seen again.
That's giving me chills.
Yeah.
So we've got these wild women, any other supernatural beings lurking in the shadow.
Oh, of course, you got your classic dwarves and giants,
Right.
often associated with guarding treasures or secrets.
Yeah.
Some stories even mention dragons.
Oh, cool.
And of course, the devil himself pops up from time to time.
Classic. So caves, mythical creatures, it's all feeling very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm picking up on this theme of hidden riches.
Yes.
Are these Corinthian caves, basically treasure troves, protected by supernatural forces?
You've hit on a major motif. Many of these legends revolve around caves concealing vast riches. And they're only accessible under very specific conditions or to those deemed worthy. Take the gold lock on the Salpe, for example. I mean, the name itself is
Gold lock.
I know.
Yeah.
Practically screams treasure.
Gold lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't trying to be subtle with that one.
Nope.
What's the story there?
So legend has it that this cave holds a sunken castle filled with treasure, but it only reappears once every 100 years.
What?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
And to find it, you need to locate a very specific type of flower growing near a stone slab.
Oh, well.
So it's like
Like a scavenger hunt.
exactly, a mythical scavenger hunt.
Oh, that's so cool. So it's not just about wanting the treasure.
Mhm.
It's about knowing when and where to look. But what about those who maybe get a little greedy?
Yeah.
Are there any stories that warn against, taking too much?
Absolutely. These legends aren't just about, fantastical creatures and all that. They often serve as moral lessons. Like, there's a story about a farmer who found a Bylands cave said to be filled with gold,
Okay.
and he took a hefty amount, way more than he needed,
Mm.
and ended up losing it all.
That's interesting. It kind of reminds me of the saying, take only what you need.
Right.
It seems like these stories are trying to teach us something about respecting boundaries
Yeah.
and being mindful of our actions,
You're picking up on something really crucial here. These caves and the stories associated with them are more than just physical spaces.
Yeah.
They represent the unknown, the hidden depths within ourselves,
Okay.
and the potential consequences of our choices.
That's a fascinating way to look at it. So we've got wild women, mischievous dwarves, maybe a dragon or two, and important lessons about greed. Are there any specific caves with particularly captivating stories that come to mind?
Oh, there are quite a few. One that always captures the imagination is the Petson Hole. It's said to be the home of King Matthias Corvinus and his entire army, all fast asleep within the mountain.
Wait, a whole sleeping army. What are they waiting for?
Well, that's the intriguing part. They're said to be awaiting a sign,
Okay.
a call to action to rise and defend the land once more. And there's this striking image associated with the legend. The king, deep in the cave,
Yeah.
constantly sharpening his sword as his beard grows, like 3 times around the stone table each night.
Oh, wow. That's some serious commitment to preparedness.
Right.
So do they ever actually wake up, or is it just this endless cycle of sharpening and sleeping?
According to legend, they rouse every night between midnight and 1,
Okay.
just long enough for the king to, maintain his weapon and
Yeah.
for his beard to grow that impressive length. Then, boom, back to slumber, waiting for their moment to emerge.
That's an awesome image.
Yeah.
What other legendary caves should we explore? You mentioned a few with wild women earlier.
Right. The Creener show is one. The legend here centers around a white woman.
Okay.
She appears to a shepherd boy and tries to lead him deeper into the mountain.
Another one of these mysterious cave dwellers.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did the boy follow her?
He starts to,
Oh.
but then he gets spooked and runs away.
Oh, man.
And just like that, poof, she disappears.
Oh, what a missed opportunity. Maybe there was treasure down there or some magical knowledge.
Maybe. It's like he failed the test,
Right.
That's a great observation. It ties into a recurring theme in these legends. It's like the forbidden question or the test of courage.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that often we miss out on rewards or deeper understanding because we let fear or doubt hold us back.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you mentioned the devil earlier. Any caves where he makes a cameo?
Oh, absolutely. We can't forget about the Dingalak.
The what?
The Dingala. It's a story about a farmer who made a deal with the devil.
Oh,
And let's just say it involved a rather unconventional mode of transportation.
a deal with the devil gone wrong. I gotta hear.
Well, the story goes that this farmer decided to, get a head start on his chores.
Okay.
He started mowing and sharpening tools on a Sunday. And as you can imagine, that didn't sit too well in a time when Sunday was strictly for rest,
Right.
Sabbath, all that.
Yeah, that would be frowned upon for sure. So where does the devil come in?
Well, the devil, being a stickler for rules
Yeah.
and always up for a bargain,
Right.
turns to the farmer and he's like, hey, I can help you finish your work quickly.
Ooh.
And the farmer, perhaps feeling a bit, pressured
Right.
or just plain tired, agrees.
I mean, wouldn't we all never make a deal with the devil?
Exactly. So the devil, true to his word, helps the farmer finish all the chores at lightning speed.
Okay.
But there's a catch, of course. The only way for them to get back home is to ride together
Yeah.
through a mountain wall.
Hold on. Ride through a mountain
Yeah.
like solid rock.
That's what the legend says. It's this crazy, fantastical image.
It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
It plays with our sense of reality, and it makes you think, on a deeper level, about those times we've taken shortcuts.
Yeah.
Or made deals that seemed, too good to be true.
Right.
Sometimes those choices can lead us down some pretty strange paths.
I agree. It's like a metaphor for the unexpected consequences of our actions. Okay, I'm ready for a story with a less devilish vibe. Any caves with a happy ending. Maybe some friendly magical beings instead.
Of course. Let's head over to the Zauberhole, or Magic Cave.
Okay.
It's near Bleiburg. It's a story about a stable boy who took a tumble into this cave and found himself in a bit of a predicament.
Magic cave. That sounds promising.
Right. Did he find any treasure down there? Well, he did find something pretty valuable, the help of a dwarf.
Oh, the helpful dwarf, a classic.
I know. What did this particular dwarf do? Well, he led the boy to safety through a secret passage.
Ooh, secret passage.
And get this, the exit was through the drain of a lake.
Whoa. That's way cooler than just finding a regular old exit.
I know.
Escaping through a secret underwater passageway. Talk about an adventure.
I love it. It's amazing how these Carinthian legends weave together real geography with these fantastical elements.
Yeah. It's like the lines between reality and myth are blurred.
They really are. It makes you wonder, did these stories originate in Carinthia inspired by the landscape? Or did they travel from somewhere else and get adapted to fit the local terrain? Either way, it's clear they've become, deeply intertwined with the region's identity.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the landscape itself is part of the storytelling. So we've got wild women who can be both helpful and dangerous, caves filled with treasure for those brave or worthy enough to find it, and even a sleeping army waiting for their cue to rejoin the world. It's incredible how these legends have survived for so long, just whispered, from generation to generation.
It is, and what's fascinating to me is that these stories aren't just entertaining yarns spun around a campfire.
Right.
They reveal something deeper about the people who told them. Values like respecting nature,
Yeah.
the consequences of greed,
Uh-huh.
the belief in a world beyond what we can see. These are themes that resonate with us even today.
Absolutely. It makes you think, are these stories just stories? Or are they a way for people to grapple with, the big questions, like
Mhm.
to find meaning in a world that can often feel so chaotic and unpredictable?
That's it. You've hit on a key point. Like, these legends offer a glimpse into the hopes,
Right.
the fears,
Yeah.
the imaginations of the people who created them. And in a way, by listening to these stories, we're connecting with those who came before us, sharing in their wonder
Yeah.
and their wisdom.
It's like we're time travelers, exploring not just the physical caves of Carinthia,
Right.
but also its cultural and spiritual landscape.
Exactly.
And who knows, maybe by delving into these stories, we discover something about ourselves along the way.
Speaking of hidden depths, there's another cave we haven't touched on yet
Ooh, another one.
that I think you'll find particularly intriguing. It's called the Kulchnihe,
Kolchenpiko.
and it's associated with a unique legend about the Billweiss,
Okay.
those wild women we talked about earlier.
Okay, back to the wild women. They really do seem to be at the heart of many of these tales.
They do. They really do. What's special about this particular cave and its legend? Well, this legend takes the idea of the wild woman a step further.
Okay.
In this story, the Billweiss who reside in this cave aren't just beautiful and powerful.
Yeah.
They're also incredibly knowledgeable, especially about agriculture.
So they're like mystical farming consultants.
Uh-huh, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
plant your seeds under this moon and your crops will flourish.
I love it.
Right. And the people in the area deeply respected them, often seeking their advice and guidance. However, as with many of these legends, there's this element of, human greed
Oh, no.
and betrayal.
Another one.
I know, right? That kind of throws things off balance.
Not another tale of humans messing things up.
Oh, it happens every time, it seems.
What happened this time?
So it seems that a local farmer, driven by envy
Yeah.
and a desire to control, the Billweiss knowledge,
Yeah.
decided to sneak into the cave and cut off their hair while they were sleeping?
Their hair. That seems a bit random. Like, what was he thinking?
Well, in many cultures, hair is seen as this symbol of strength and vitality.
Right.
By cutting off their hair, the farmer was essentially attempting to steal their power, their knowledge, for himself. He wanted to possess it rather than respecting it, as a gift.
That's such a bold move and kind of creepy. It's not just about greed for wealth. It's about the desire to control knowledge, to hoard it for oneself. So what happened to the Billweiss?
Well, the legend says they were, deeply offended by this act of disrespect and violation.
No, understandable.
They vanished from the cave, never to be seen again.
Wow. That's both sad and a little unsettling. It seems like there's a pattern here with these stories, like this reminder
Yeah.
that when humans let greed and disrespect guide their actions, they often end up pushing away the very things that could bring them benefit.
It really makes you think about that delicate balance between, humans and the supernatural world. These stories highlight the importance of humility and respect,
Yeah.
recognizing that we're not always in control.
Definitely. There's a sense of karma in these stories, too. Did anything happen to the farmer after he cut off the Billweiss's hair?
Well, according to legend, his fortune took a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
He faced a series of misfortunes and, eventually lost everything.
Oh, man. That's a pretty clear message. You don't mess with the Billweiss and their magical hair.
Uh-huh.
But seriously, it reinforces the idea that these legends aren't just, entertainment.
Right.
They're also about teaching us how to live in the world, how to
Mhm.
navigate this tricky terrain
Yeah.
of human nature and the forces beyond our understanding.
Exactly. It's like, ancient guidebooks offering wisdom
Yeah.
disguised as fantastical tales.
It's incredible how these stories, passed down through generation,
Right.
still speak to us today. They remind us that the struggle between greed and respect,
Yeah,
fear and wonder, is a timeless one.
absolutely. And speaking of wonder, there's one more cave we can't leave out.
One more kid.
One more. It's called the Salagen Grube,
Okay.
also known as Zalik Jama,
Interesting.
another location named after our mysterious wild women.
Oh, these wild women.
Yeah.
They really are the stars of Corinthian cave folklore.
Oh, what's the story with this one? Well, this cave is linked to a particularly colorful and, dare I say, a little bit scandalous legend.
Oh,
It involves a young bride,
okay.
a seemingly never-ending supply of thread,
Interesting.
and, shall we say, the more passionate side of the wild women.
Wait, what? A love story?
Mhm.
Intrigue? Tell me more.
Okay, so the story goes like this. A young, newly married woman is
Right.
struggling to, make ends meet.
Yeah.
She encounters the wild women of this cave,
Okay.
and they offer her a gift, a magical thread that never runs out.
What?
Yeah, she can spin it into yarn, sell it, bring prosperity to herself and her husband.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I know. Sounds like a pretty good deal, right?
Sounds pretty good to me.
But was there a catch? I mean, you're sensing a pattern here with these stories.
That's trying to, yeah.
Forbidden actions, all that.
Yes.
You're right to be suspicious. The catch is that she must never reveal the source of this magical thread.
Oh.
Silence equals prosperity.
Ah, the
Oh.
classic burden of secrets.
Yeah.
So did she manage to keep her lips sealed?
For a while, she did.
Okay.
She and her husband enjoyed their newfound wealth.
Yeah.
But as time went on, keeping the secret started to weigh on her. And there's another layer to the story that makes things even more complicated.
Oh, I knew there had to be a twist. What is it?
Well, the wild women who resided in this cave, in addition to being generous and powerful, were also known for their, let's just say, their enthusiasm for young men.
Enthusiasm, you mean?
Let's just say they had a reputation for, luring handsome lads into the cave.
Oh my.
Wild women. Very apt description in more ways than one.
Wow. Okay, so we've got a young bride with a secret
Right.
magical thread and some rather flirtatious wild women. This is getting good. What happened next?
Okay, so the story gets a bit, fuzzy at this point.
Okay.
Different versions are circulating,
Right.
but most agree that eventually the bride's secret is revealed,
Oh.
leading to the wild women's departure from the cave.
So once again, humans mess things up. By, breaking trust or revealing secrets they shouldn't have.
It seems that we just can't help ourselves, can we?
It does seem that way, unfortunately.
Perhaps there's a lesson there, right?
Yeah.
About the consequences of our actions and the importance of respecting boundaries, both physical and magical.
Absolutely. But what's particularly interesting about this legend
Yeah.
is that it explores not just themes of greed and trust, but also, the complex dynamics between human and supernatural desire.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that these legends, like the caves themselves, hold hidden depths and complexities.
Yeah.
And sometimes those hidden depths are more exciting and maybe a little bit scandalous
For sure.
than we might expect.
Well, this deep dive into Corinthian cave legends has been quite a ride. We've encountered magical beings,
Right.
treacherous deals,
Yeah.
hidden treasures, and even a touch of romance, all woven into the landscape and lore of this fascinating region.
It's incredible how these seemingly, simple stories can reveal so much about the people who created them and the enduring power of folklore to connect us to the past, to nature, and to the mysteries that lie beyond, our everyday world.
Makes you wonder if there are like stories hidden in the landscapes and, caves closer to home.
Yeah, that's a great thought. I mean, every region has its own folklore, right? Its
Yeah.
own unique blend of history, belief, and imagination woven into the landscape. Think about the places you know well. I bet there are stories whispered about, certain hills, forests, or even old buildings.
You're right. I've never really thought about it like that, but there are definitely some local legends and some spooky stories that have been like passed down in my family. It makes me want to like go digging and see what other hidden tales I can uncover.
I encourage you to do just that. It's like a treasure hunt, unearthing the stories that connect us to the places we call home.
So as we emerge from this deep dive into the caves of Carinthia, what's the one thing you hope listeners will take away from all these incredible legends?
I think it's not just about the fantastical creatures or the thrill of, hidden treasure. It's about recognizing the human element at the heart of these stories. They reflect our age-old fascination with the unknown, our desire to make sense of the world around us, and perhaps even to glimpse something deeper within ourselves.
That's beautifully put.
Yeah.
So for our listeners out there, what's one question they should ponder as they go about their day, inspired by these Corinthian cave legends?
Oh, that's a good one. I would ask this. What stories, legends, or beliefs shape your understanding of the world? And what hidden depths are waiting to be explored, both in the landscapes you know and love and within yourself?